Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here with the KM-G9 87 key mechanical keyboard by AUKEY. So they've got a nice little selection of mechanical keyboards, but this is like their lower end introductory model to get your foot in the door so you can get yourself a mechanical keyboard. Now I'll talk about the benefits of a mechanical keyboard versus the more common membrane style keyboard that typically comes with whatever computer you purchase. Generally though, mechanical keyboards are more aligned towards people who do like gaming, which, I like to play video games, so mechanical keyboards are great. They're more responsive, they have better key feedback, they have better pickup whenever you're using the keystrokes and pushing multiple buttons at the same time. All around, other than just going clickety-clackety and making a bunch of noise, they're really cool. And they're cool for reasons. So a little bit about this one. This is the 87 key mechanical keyboard. The model number is KM-G9. Now, it's got 87 keys, anti-ghosting mechanical keyboard for responsive gaming and more satisfying and efficient typing. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but it's got the AUKEY blue switches. Now, the switches are what do they pick up the feedback whenever you press the button and it registers the keystroke. Now, these are actually rated for a whole lot of key presses, 50 million key presses to be exact. So just having the peace of mind of knowing that you can push these keys 50 million times and they'll be warranted. Now you're gonna have to hit 50 million keystrokes in 2 years because it has a 2-year warranty, but just like all of AUKEY's products, it's got their 24-month guarantee. But the nice thing about this also is it's only $25.99. Now, I don't really know of any other mechanical keyboard you can get your foot in the door with for 25 bucks. So that's another wonderful selling feature for this keyboard. So $25.99, 50 million keystrokes, and yeah. Now, it doesn't have the number keypad on the side, which I kind of wish that it did. It's not really anything you need for gaming, but if you use it also as a combination regular desktop keyboard, sometimes you might need to use the number keypad, which I generally do in my day-to-day business. Now a little bit more. Now the keys on it, they're double shot molded ABS keycaps, extremely durable. It comes with a little tool that you can remove them with and replace them if you need to. And then it's got the minimalist edgeless matte black case. It's clean, desirable, space efficient, and it really has a nice feel to it. It's got a solid weight. It's fairly hefty for what it is. And then on the bottom, let me flip this over. It's got the little pop-up so you can add that angle to it so you can get it elevated up for your wrists. So it's not really recommended that you have it flat and you're typing like this. You want your hands to be more arched and natural like such. So it does look a little bit smaller than most, and that's because you're missing the number keypad over here, like I said. But you still have all the other buttons, the insert, the home, page up, page down, delete, and all that good stuff. And then you still have your arrows here. And then if you're playing video games, you're pretty much using your WASD and all these keys over here because you want your hand free over here for the mouse so you can blow things up and do all the wonderful things you do online. So, like I said, it's got the AUKEY blue switches, and the nice thing about the switches is AUKEY uses 2 different kinds. They've got blue switches, they've got brown switches. The blue ones, they have a little bit more clickety-clackety, they produce more noise, and that's because of the mechanical mechanism that is built into it, which is the switches. So whenever you have these more newer style keyboards, they're built for, 1, not lasting very long, 2, they don't register typically more than 2 or 3 key presses at the same time, which is why you want a mechanical keyboard for your gaming, because sometimes you're pressing 3, 4, 5, 6 buttons at the same time, which is where the anti-ghosting and all that stuff comes in. So you need to make sure, if you're playing video games, that you do have a mechanical keyboard, because if you've ever tried playing sometimes on a laptop or sometimes on a regular desktop and you're like, okay, well, let me hold the shift button to run. I'm holding this button, to go forward. And then it's like, oh, it's not picking up the 3rd button. It's not picking up the 4th button. I've run into that before. It's very frustrating. And I never understood that a long time ago until I figured out that it had to do with the anti-ghosting that is inherent in Windows with those normal, not very good keyboards. So I mentioned I was going to talk about the membrane versus the mechanical keyboard. Now, the mechanical keyboard, you have 1 switch for each button, With the membrane style, you have this rubber mat that kind of goes underneath it and has these little dimples and with caps on them, and that's what's pressed and actuated each time. So that's why they have that rubbery, spongy feeling. It kind of changes over time, and then eventually it runs out and it dies, and then it just doesn't work properly anymore, or the keys pop off because they're just cheaply made. With these, they've got the individual mechanical switch underneath each one of them, and then whenever you're typing, you get that wonderful feedback. Now, some of you may consider it wonderful, some of you may not consider it wonderful. This is actually how keyboards used to be. Having my first computer in the 80s and then in the 90s, mechanical keyboards were what everyone had because that's what the standard was. And then they're like, we don't listen to this anymore. So then they created the more modern style keyboard. And then they realized as gaming got really big and people were breaking their keyboards and they're falling apart, and it's like, why do we keep having these cheap garbage keyboards to play with? They went back to the mechanical. Now, this might be an annoyance for some people because, I type really fast. So if you type really fast, you type a lot, you're playing games, you're going to hear this. That's what you're going to hear every time you press it. So you need to be aware of that. And I'm sure it probably picked that up pretty well on my microphone. So that's pretty much the only real downside to a mechanical keyboard is the clickety-clackety. But they do have other models that have the brown switches, which are more noise dampening and they're not as loud. But for $25.99, you really can't shake a stick at it. I mean, it's a really good value. It's a good deal. You get the 24-month warranty, the 50 million key presses. It's going to hold up. It's going to last. It's going to work. Now, I do wish it were backlit, and the way that these letters are made, it really gave me the indication that it was backlit. They have a backlit model, costs a little bit more money, but this one, I can't say it's a disappointment in the product. It's a disappointment in the original presentation that I had because I thought, oh, look, the keys look like they light up. I think they just use the same keys for each keyboard, and then whether it's lit up or not is what actually activates it. So if you're using this at night, hopefully you have a good brightness from your monitor, or you can remember where the buttons are at because it doesn't light up. Anyway, so this is the KM-G9, the 87 key mechanical keyboard by AUKEY, $25.99. You can pick it up on Amazon. I'll have the link down in the drop down. I like it. It works well. It's a nice introductory mechanical keyboard to get your foot in the door so you can see what the benefits are. Maybe it'll increase your game, maybe it won't, but you'll sound cool when all your friends come over, or you'll look really annoying them with all the noise. But anyway, that's all I got for today. So again, the KM-G9 87 key mechanical keyboard by AUKEY. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the drop down section, and I'll see y'all next time.